So I recently purchased the Donkey Kong Bananza DLC, and I have mixed feelings about it, and that led me to wonder, is DLC killing Nintendo? More specifically, is the prices versus the content going to kill Nintendo's DLC in the future? So I brought on Andrew, I brought on Trevor, and we're going to kind of talk about that today.
What do you think, Andrew?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Well, people are annoyed about the ones announced in the big direct, but we don't know anything about the content of them really, except for Donkey Kong, which I haven't played, but I've heard mixed on it. But I mean, before this, I think was the last big one for Deluxe.
The last big one was for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I'd actually argue
that was incredible. Like, what was it, $25?
$25, or you got it free with the booster pass. The expansion pass for the NSO. And yeah, so that was basically an entire new game's worth of content. You got a bunch of new characters and literally double the course tracks. Brought back old characters like Funky and Diddy, but also had new characters like Pauline and Peachette over there. Added new tracks like Yoshi's Island. And yeah, like brought back a ton of new and old characters. Obviously, it was old recycled content from Mario Kart Tour, but at the end of the day, like they up-resed it.
Yeah,
it looks great,
really good.
I think it's good.
I guess the other one I haven't gotten to play it yet, but the Scarlet and Violet DLC, was that good?
Yeah, I loved it. Trevor, what did you think about the Scarlet and Violet DLC?
Scarlet and Violet's DLC I think it's perfect. I think it suffers from the console it released on still. I mean, if all that happened on the Switch too, it would have been amazing. But
yeah,
I think the only thing it suffers from is the same thing Gen 8 suffers from, where the whole deck should have come out. So they should have put either a third DLC out there to put the rest of the Pokemon in the game, or they should have put all the Pokemon in the game with the 2 DLCs and just kind of waited on it. But I don't mind being trickled out Pokemon. It's just like, do I really want that? And yeah, I mean this third.
Yeah, so that kind of brings me over.
At least I mean they announced it after the game came out, so.
Yeah, it's like because I only scratched the surface of the Sword and Shield DLC too. I really haven't played much of either. So if this for $30 ends up being about the same level, do you think it's worth it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think. Well, so here's what scares me about this DLC specifically, and I haven't heard anyone talk about this. The other 2 DLCs for Pokemon were $35, and they came in 2 parts. Right? In Sword and Shield, it was Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra. In Scarlet and Violet, it was the Kitakami and then the island, whatever that was called, the Tropicos Island. What was that thing called, Trev?
The Blueberry Academy.
Blueberry Academy. I call it Tropicos Island, but I don't know why. And those were announced as 2 parts for $35 both times. This is $30, but it's called one thing. It's Mega Dimension. There's no 2 parts. So my concern is that this is going to kind of follow the Donkey Kong Bananza kind of route here, where it's like this probably should have been post-game. Here's $30. Where Donkey Kong Bananza's DLC is essentially the Mario Odyssey post-game of, hey, here's the guy's common area. Plus, what probably should have been a $10, $15 DLC of a kind of endless roguelike mode. Similar to what Mario Odyssey got for free, but I think so much more in depth. Where like this is a full-on like mini game essentially that I think has a lot of depth. I've had a ton of fun with it. $20 worth of fun? Not really. I've probably played it for a couple of hours. But man, $10. I don't think anyone would have been complaining about this.
Yeah, I do hope they do more of like what they did with like Animal Crossing and Mario Kart, where they just throw or they put the DLCs in the expansion pass. They keep doing that because I think that is it's a really nice incentive to buy that expansion pass. Is just getting these DLCs for free. That's how I have Happy Home Designer or Academy and the Mario Kart one. And if I had Splatoon 3, I'd have the Splatoon
Yeah,
one.
actually, so that's how I did a lot of those DLC type things back in the day too. Was just they included it in NSO.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I go buy the what is it, $40 a year subscription, $60 a year subscription, when I could just why would I buy this DLC when the subscription exists and it comes through my subscription?
It feels like you may just have a problem with it to have a problem with it. I think honestly with DLC, like the thing is who's not buying it? Like, are there a lot of people not buying it? Are there a significant amount of people not buying it?
Andrew, have you bought the DLC for Bananza?
Not yet. I'm waiting to beat the game.
Well,
but I probably will.
Forget Bananza. Let's talk about games that have, like older games that have done DLC that have more history to go off of. Like, no matter how much people are always going to complain about DLC, right? They're going to complain that it's an added cost to the game, but they put it out there and it sells. So market value is telling Nintendo, we're going to be able to sell this thing. Why wouldn't they? If you were running a lemonade stand and people were coming up for $10, are you going to lower your price just because?
I mean,
like, if you're
Trevor,
selling a lemonade, you gotta just put the price out there.
I mean, that's not what's going on right now. And I think the DLC comparison between Mario Kart 8 and Donkey Kong Bananza really show this. $20 DLC, $25 DLC, where the $25 DLC has another full game's worth of content in it, and the $20 DLC has a map with no collectibles.
But people are buying
mode.
the Donkey Kong one. So the landscape has clearly changed. Like, people are going to buy it to avoid FOMO, and I think Nintendo knows that.
Yeah, that's
and if
true.
you choose not to, then that's fine. But it's not Nintendo's problem that you can't deal with seeing your friends have the DLC and you don't. Like,
No,
if anybody is really strong enough to not buy the game, then don't. Like, if you don't think it's worth the price tag, here's the thing. It's like I feel like I know a lot of people who, either have worked adjacent to game development or like know things about game development. And these people aren't the people who are complaining about how much these things cost. Like, games cost a lot of money to make. It's like, you blow $60 at the grocery store easy on like one dinner for two people. And don't even get me started on like going out to eat. And I feel like that's something people do all the time. And you're saying like this development of Emerald Isle and stuff isn't worth like $20. Like, you spend $20 on nothing, like every now and then. Like, it's just, I feel like Nintendo's just saying, hey, market value, this is where the world's at right now. The world has changed a lot since COVID. I think anything you use before COVID as an argument is kind of nullified by COVID and the fact that like people are just, I guess, valuing these things higher. Yeah. And so if that's the case and people are willing to buy them, why is it Nintendo's fault if they are selling games, they're moving DLC at the prices they set and continue to set, and yeah, they're going to keep raising them because they're like, I mean, people are buying them.
Yeah, more than anything, I do think it's unfortunate timing, just with games have gotten more expensive.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
And then I think a big problem is just some of Nintendo's like DLC has felt like maybe it was something that could have been included in the base game. And there you get an issue where it's just like, well, shouldn't this have just been in it? And it's kind of just the culmination of all the problems.
I would agree that, yeah, I think DLC feels like it should be part of the base game. And I think that comes with a lot of things, right? It comes with the generation. I mean, first of all, you go back and play some older games and you're like, wait a minute, there's less content in this than I remember. And then some games you go back and play and you're like, oh, this game has a lot of content, it's really fun. But then some games you go back and you're like, oh, this game looks like crap. And then some games you're like, oh, this game looks really good. And either way, in today's world, you're expecting high graphical fidelity, you're expecting a lot of content, and when you don't get it, and they deliver something extra in the DLC. Honestly, I feel like it's so much more about gameplay loop for me than it is about whatever people are defining as like, oh, not enough content. Like Legends Arceus did not get DLC. I don't think it needed DLC.
No,
I think it was a game that I spent a ton of hours playing because I enjoyed the gameplay loop and it had plenty of content. And none of us 100%ed that probably because the game had so much content that just from its one gameplay loop that it was really fun. So I do think.
But Trevor, on that same logic, the Daybreak update would have been $20 DLC based on what Donkey Kong Bananza just gave us.
I don't know.
Yes,
I think
that's more content than what was in this DLC.
Sure, but
so,
apparently Nintendo thinks that people are going to buy the Bonanza DLC, and you know what? People probably would have spent money on the Daybreak update too, and maybe they realized
I would have paid $20 for the Daybreak update.
Exactly. So maybe Nintendo / Game Freak realized at this point, moving into this Z-A thing, that it's like, oh, we did this update, everybody was stoked on it. We could probably charge for this. Like we could objectively make a better game if we charge for this. And whether or not that's their intention, I mean, I choose to believe that it somewhat is for some of the people at the company. Like, you have to remember, doesn't always, like, just because a company makes a decision doesn't mean that all the employees necessarily agree with the reason why or act the same on said decision. So just because the company's going to make a little bit more money off the game with the DLC and the corporation's happy that they can tell the stockholders that, doesn't mean that the game developers aren't like somewhat stoked because like, oh, maybe we get a little bit extra to put into this. But I think the only thing that gives us hope with Z-A, and we'll see what happens, is the fact that you really run into a problem when the employees want to do that. They want to take the extra income, the extra cash, and they want to make the game better. But then the company's like, oh no, you got to make a game in a year, right? Because there's just nothing you can do. You have to squeeze every last second out, and it's not about budget at that point.
ZA's been given time to cook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have hope only in the fact that they're trying something new. This isn't This isn't BDSP Unova edition.
No,
this
is
is a new game. They get to do whatever they want. There's a new battle mechanic. They're kind of gambling that people are going to enjoy this new battle mechanic, this new competitive thing. It looks like there's a lot to do. I have a lot of hope because the world isn't huge. It doesn't look so graphically amazing that, you know what? If the only way this game can work, Kayden, is if it's super fun to play.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And that's, at the end of the day, all I care about. If the Mega DLC is an added thing, I'm probably going to get it because, you know what? I enjoy bonus content. But it's a DLC for a reason. You don't have to buy it.
So I did some math, man. And if you get the Nintendo Switch 2 edition plus this DLC,
It's a $100 game.
it's a $100 game.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
if you want to spend $140, you can get the game for $10 off by buying the Nintendo vouchers through NSO, upgrading your game for $10, and then buying the $30 DLC.
At least we didn't get Black and White 3, two separate versions, both with DLCs. Yeah,
that would have been
a $200 situation.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, I mean,
and again, Nintendo, like, you got to just look at the market. Nintendo's selling Mario Galaxy for like $60.
Yo, yeah, that's stupid.
I have more of a problem
you're
with
right.
that.
$70. Sorry.
Yeah,
I mean, if I'm Game Freak, I'm looking at that and saying, you know what? If I'm doing all this extra work to put these extra megas in the game, like we got to get paid for it, and people are going to buy it. So
yeah, I mean, we need to see what Mega Dimension has. They showed nothing. They showed two.
I mean,
The
they
two
showed
Raichu.
Raichu X and Y.
there's
so
going
I
to be,
think it looked
listen,
really
that's it.
cool.
I think-
there's
yeah,
gonna
they
be
look
stuff
great,
to do.
but,
There's going to
like-
be stuff to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I-
Like, you don't charge $30 for a DLC where there's nothing. Like, I think
But
they
listen.
Bonanza.
Let's
Okay,
look
well,
back.
that's-
Let's look back for a second, and I think we should wrap up on this kind of point to say, like, no, it won't kill Nintendo. Let's look back on a second and just forget about what we don't know right now, and just look at, like, with a game like Arceus, did the trailer have all the features of the game in it? Like, people are outraged at a DLC when they've literally only seen 2 Pikachu forms.
Yeah,
you know what I
That's
mean?
true, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that is the thing.
the 2 Raichu forms, like, at least give it a chance.
Like, just relax.
Exactly.
Let's see something.
Give it a chance. If it's terrible, we'll know when the game comes out. You know, but you don't have to buy it if you think it's gonna. If you truly believe it's gonna be terrible, wait to buy it.
Don't
I guarantee you,
yeah.
some people out there will wait to buy it, but a lot of the people who are loudly complaining are buying that thing day one, or they already have pre-ordered it. So if you keep throwing the money out there like that, no, DLC will not kill Nintendo.
No, yeah, you're right.
And people are still throwing the money out.
And there's Hoopa, which leads me to believe that we're going to teleport somewhere else. So
Yeah,
seems really
I'm a
cool.
little afraid Hoopa's getting saved till base game or till DLC. When Legends Arceus had all the mythicals in base game, but that's its own thing.
Do you think
Depends
that's,
on what else is in there.
How do you know that Hoofa's being saved for DLC?
I'm not. I said I'm afraid that's gonna happen
Maybe.
with the fact that he's really prevalent in this trailer.
Sure.
Anyway, that's been Will DLC kill Nintendo. I think we've
Roast us in the
definitively
comments.
concluded that it won't.
Roast us in the comments.
We'll
Subscribe.
live.
Go watch some of our games.
Yeah.
We're still working on the whole debate thing. We'll get used to it.
We'll get better.
Yeah, we will. But go watch Kayden try and spell some Pokemon names, or Andrew try and guess us drawing Pokemon.
Drawing some Pokemon.
That's
yeah.
a fun one. Have a good one.
Peace.